Hey everyone, it's Xander.
And Alejandro.
Now, if you were disappointed by the last chapter, I have good news for you.
Which means bad news for us.
Indeed, we get back on track with the bullshit in this chapter. We also get introduced to a handful of new characters
that I probably won't care about.
Indeed, so now we get to the college days. Let's see how Naylor, who never went to college, writes a college chapter. This is chapter 14.
Cups fill up with $5 wine. I find myself here all the time. Another rip in the glass, another chip in my tooth.
Starting us off, we have Fisk, who's supposed to be in basic training, slipping into Lucy's room and... wow. Really, Naylor?
Oh, I'm sure I can exploit this page somehow.
And Fisk is giving a weather report during sex.
As it turns out, though, it's all just a dream. We get a feel for Lucy's usual days now in college. Now, I never lived in a college dorm, so I can't say how accurate any of this actually is.
It looks like Naylor's playing it safe and basing it all off TV, which is better than pulling his own theories out of his ass.
Oh, come on. You know you'd love to see Naylor write his own version of how a girl's dorm works.
That'd be the last thing I'd want to see. It'd be misogyny and prostitutes everywhere.
That'd be implying they get paid.
Also, it's hilarious that Naylor picked journalism, of all things, for Lucy to be attending a lecture of.
I guess she couldn't get into the objectivism classes. Well, while Lucy's doing homework, I guess we get a proper introduction to one of her roommates, Jessica, and... wow, really?
I stand corrected. I think now is when Naylor's starting to introduce his own ideas of what happens in a girl's dorm.
And, you know, I've heard of girls borrowing each other's clothes and stuff, but underwear? Really?
She said hers is in the wash. All she has to do is wait for it to finish.
And that's even assuming that they have oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to say they have matching bust sizes, but Naylor, lazy character body types, lazy character design, never mind.
I get the joke he was going for here, but could he have picked anything else to make it seem less weird?
Well, not to drag this page out too much longer, because we still have a whole chapter to drag through the mud. But we get this comment from Lucy about how Jessica and Robert have been dating since 10th grade.
This gets special mention because of Naylor's porn comics.
Again?
Almost every girl that got introduced in this chapter gets at least one porn comic made of them. In Jessica and Robert's case, it is puppy love, which at the time was the worst thing Naylor had produced.
It's not anymore.
Naylor's gone off the deep end even further, and has produced much worse things since then. Anyways, Puppy Love basically completely retcons how Robert and Jessica met each other. Instead of being high school sweethearts, they met at the swimming pool where Jessica was a swimming instructor and Robert was dating a fat bitchy woman who...
he cheats on?
You catch on quick. Good. Also, it's written entirely as a poem.
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. Naylor wrote poetry.
That's gotta make, Vogon poetry even, sound good.
Oh, frizzled grunt fugly.
No, really, you don't have to read. We've put you through enough trouble already.
Plurdled gabbled nonsense on a lurking.
Vogon poetry is widely accepted as the third worst in the universe. The second worst is that of the Asgoths of Krea. During a recitation by their poet master Grunthos the Flatulent of his poem Ode to a Small Lump of Green Putty I Found in My Armpit One Midsummer Morning, 4 of his audience died of internal hemorrhaging, and the president of the Mid-Galactic Arts Nobbling Council survived by gnawing one of his own legs off.
Oh, I will rend thee in these double warts with my verbal crunches.
The absolute worst poetry was written by Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings of Sussex. Luckily it was destroyed when the Earth was.
Anyways, we start getting into what this chapter is going to be about. Love.
This is going to turn into a train wreck.
We've got Jessica, or rather her ass, telling us about how Lucy will meet Mr. Right and all the cliches that you'd expect. And when Lucy explains how can Jessica believe in something so blindly, Jessica simply says she does, showing us that Jessica is going to be our ditzy blonde of the cast members.
Oh hey, I think I see what Naylor's true calling should have been. Political cartoonist, then no one would take him seriously.
And indeed, to prove Naylor still treats his females as idiots, and not just Jessica, we get a page of a cheesy radio talk show.
Wait, is that guy's name seriously Rusty Cockburn?
The whole page shows the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and yet Lucy still calls in.
Is she being stupid or just that desperate?
And unsurprisingly, to sum up this page, Lucy is disappointed by what she's told, and everyone is supposed to laugh at the stupid girl.
Otto Baldinger?
No, we're not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Honestly, Naylor is using Lucy worse than any of her exes ever did.
Now we get introduced to... Beth.
Okay, what's her story?
You'll find out soon enough.
She hates almost all people?
As it turns out, she had a boyfriend back in high school who was also sick and died shortly after.
I need to flip a table. Why can't Naylor write a happy couple without any bullshit?
So yeah, Beth at this point is basically asexual, which is an interesting option to explore when usually the focus is on finding love instead of maybe not needing someone. The downside to all of this is that Beth chooses not to date anyone, not because she's content, but because no one can measure up to Jason, and her views are even more jaded than Lucy's.
Also, that's pretty pretentious to say after 3 months you start seeing problems when you've only ever had one boyfriend. You have nothing to base your ideas off of. She says she sees these relationships come and go and things go sour. But at the same time, she just said she hates almost everyone. She gives the impression of being a loner, and no matter how observant you are, if you aren't actually friends with other people, you can't know for a fact how well things are or aren't going.
And things start to get worse with Beth's logic, as she says she tolerates and gets used to loneliness, scrapping even further the idea that she doesn't need anyone, and instead she just chooses to run from the idea of breakups. But what's even worse is the next panel where, yeah, Naylor went with his own idea of a girl's dorm, alright. We got Beth blatantly showing Lucy her vibrator collection.
She named one of them Cthulhu. You didn't even spell it right.
Well, for whatever reason, probably because she's the only one there, Lucy opens up to Beth and talks about being in love with a guy she can never have.
Yep, fucking your brother wasn't wrong in the least. Nope, no problems have been coming of it at all. Hell, the last time you thought about him was only the first panel of this chapter!
So we go from Lucy not seeming to care about relationships when she was talking to Jessica, to her suddenly wanting to be in one when talking to Beth. It's like Naylor is just making Lucy want the opposite of whoever she's talking to.
And we end the page on, okay, I smirked at the joke. Well, time to meet girl number 3 now, Amy.
And to this day is probably, even amongst the Hatem, the most liked of Naylor's characters. Seriously, there's very little problems with her. Naylor did very little to take this character. I don't even want to talk to her out of fear that he will bring her back and ruin her just to spite people.
Do you really think he would?
He named his latest porn comic, Straight Girls Kissing in the Shower, specifically to piss off his haters. I would not put it past him.
So if Jessica is the blonde diss that runs off of feelings, and Beth is the asexual one that just needs to get off, Amy is the lovesick one. But in the next page you see that she... Oh my god! It's a miracle! She has standards!
Quick! I need you to find out Bella's frozen over. I'll go look and see a picture flying.
So yeah, Amy also doubles as the good girl. And now there's just one more new face to meet. Drum roll, please! And now, the moment you all have been waiting for. Introducing, showing up first in her underwear at the start of this chapter, and now clearly drunk and fresh from a frat party. She's female! She's a rabbit! And we haven't had anyone introduced to fit the category yet. Introducing this chapter's brand new whore, Rachel!
Oh god, I could do an entire review on this character alone. I've got a lot to say about her, but I will say that for another time and only talk about things as they are relevant.
Okay, she's already rubbing me the wrong way. She can smell the need on Lucy. I know they are anthropomorphics, but I don't think that's what Naylor was implying here. Also, she's obviously drunk. Why would anyone take anything she's saying seriously?
Woman, you don't even want me to comment on what I can probably smell coming off of you, and here's a hint, it's not just alcohol. So for the second time now, we get a makeover for Lucy.
Yeah, because that first new look really stuck.
And of course, this one won't either because Naylor is far too much of a hack to actually stick to making a new look for anyone. Rachel fusses over how Lucy looks and, really? Closet lesbian?
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This is Naylor logic after all. I'm sure anyone that doesn't run around dressed like a whore is a lesbian to him.
Wait a minute. Linda Hamilton?
Okay, what the hell, Naylor? Of all the celebrities to pick on, you had to pick on Linda Hamilton, the co-star of Terminator 1 and 2? Why? Because she's the strong female character type? I mean, she's been married twice, both times to men. Seriously.
Let's move on.
One temporary makeover later, we got Lucy dressed up for the party, and we get into the real evidence that Rachel is a whore. 1. She has a boyfriend, as Lucy says from the jacket comment. 2. She's going to the party without him. I think you guys can figure out the rest from here. The two head to a frat house.
How cliche.
And oh great, Rachel has a few guys to show Lucy. Now it's the male's turn to get their time in the spotlight to be mocked and objectified.
And here we have Naylor exploring his homosexual side.
So we got Jeff, the muscular one.
Sensitive exterior. Where? Is it in the same place as that timely wind?
Jonathan, the Shoto boy, and that's putting it nicely.
Now, I have seen male characters wearing dresses appear more manly than that.
And if this wasn't bad enough, we actually spend 2 pages on this joke, and oh, for fuck's sake!
It's like Naylor realized in the last chapter he wrote a decent black guy, so he had to completely screw it up in this chapter.
I don't think that could be more stereotypical if he tried.
I don't know. He's not holding a gun or a knife, and it's in black and white, so I can't actually tell if he's wearing gang colors or not.
And to end it all, we got Tommy, Rachel's boyfriend. Oh shit, didn't count on that one, did you cheating whore?
And of course, he looks like the most normal of them all, following usual Naylor formula. Make one stupid or dull character look like the best choice by surrounding him with unlikable or exaggerated fill-ins.
Well, Lucy ends up talking to Tommy, who is looking for Rachel. And of course we had to add sound effects to Tommy. No guy is that innocent once they hit college. Anyways, rather than be honest with Tommy and tell him his girlfriend is a slut, she plays dumb. However, I can kind of understand that. I wouldn't want to destroy the poor guy's worldview either. The two end up talking some more.
Outside, with no transition.
And we find out Tommy isn't just innocent. He's not even naive by this point. He's oblivious. Rachel could probably lie and say she tripped, fell, lost her clothes, and landed on a guy's dick, and he'd buy it. Well, Lucy then decides to take actions into her own hands and asks him if he wants to go to the woods to make out.
What?
And as we can see from the next page, that wasn't just a joke. No, Rachel is pissed as hell. Not only did Lucy actually mean what she said, she took it a step further and blew Tommy.
Yeah, that's right, everyone. Lucy, Little Miss, poor pitiful me. Every guy cheats on me. I can't find true love. Just took a page out of her own mother's playbook and became a homewrecker. Okay, technically they're not married, but you get my points. Oh no, it gets better. This time it's justified.
Still.
You know, I've been saving a clip just for this occasion, and now it's time for it.
Please give a warm hand to the star of Girls Gone Wild, Parts 2, 5, and 7, Lucy the Slut!
This doesn't even make sense anymore. This is so inconsistent with what little of a character she has had.
That's probably why Naylor thought he could get away with it. So yeah, Rachel is pissed. By the way, making an enemy out of one of your roommates? Probably not the smartest choice. Lucy doesn't make things any easier on herself, being a smartass the entire time, and finally, in her own defense, claims she's treating Rachel's relationship with the same standards that Rachel is.
Yes, because being a slut is clearly the best choice of action to take here. I love, by the way, that none of this is for Tommy's benefit at all. Lucy didn't care about telling Tommy that his girlfriend's a whore. No, she just wanted to suck off the innocent little boy. You know, given the circumstances, I would argue that Lucy here is the worst character in this chapter. And given that our actual villain is literally a cheating whore, that's saying a lot.
And to further show what a bitch Lucy is right now, Amy tells her she's got a call from some guy. And her first response is that the last thing she needs is a call from some guy. Naylor, could you make your heroine of this chapter sound any more like a stuck-up cunt?
I refuse this. I refuse to accept Lucy as the heroine. You know what? Amy is now the star of the chapter. Also, I see Lucy's already back in her tomboy clothes. Nice to see that wardrobe change was short-lived.
Well, your star of the chapter goes to hang up the phone on guess who? Fisk.
Can we have a single chapter without him?
I think there might be exactly one chapter that he doesn't show up in. But anyways, just wait. It gets worse.
Wonderful.
So our new heroine is getting strangled by the telephone cord while Lucy talks to Fisk. As it turns out, he's done with basic training and gets some leave time.
It's not even worth questioning if he would get leave time so soon or not by this point in the chapter.
The girls are gossiping while Lucy cleans up the guest room and nosy hens. I mean, it's kind of funny to me, but it doesn't really fit at all. Also, for the second page in a row, Alice's new hero of the comic is getting some form of physical abuse. Yeah, it's only a pillow, just felt like pointing that out though.
It's better than her very character and personality being destroyed.
Well, Fisk shows up and meets Rachel and nothing happens. Yeah, this page was probably filler when Naylor wrote it. He needed to take a few more days out of his oh-so-busy schedule to get a real page. So yeah, we get a reunion page. Fisk has bulked up some, it seems. We move on to introductions, and apparently Jessica went to the same school as Lucy and Fisk.
Okay, why couldn't Naylor carry over one of his other characters we just saw then? Jessica never was shown in the previous chapters, while Lucy had at least two other friends we saw that were, not counting Liz, who we know went off to a different college.
Because Naylor is a hack. There's not much else to this page other than, of course, every girl is looking and drooling over Fisk.
Okay, I don't care how you try and deny it, Naylor. I don't care what you say. I don't care what your fandom says. Your comic says elsewise. Fisk is your blatant self-insert of a character. And you know what? I wouldn't even care if you didn't try and deny it so much.
Why does he try to deny it?
Reasons I can't exactly get into yet. Let's just say Fisk does some things later on that Naylor realized might not reflect too well on himself.
You mean besides what we've already seen?
And now that you mention it, yes, surprisingly, he hasn't crossed that line yet.
So, this is the moment that more or less actually ends Lucy and Fisk screwing each other. Lucy and Fisk have a talk and, well, I'll be damned, she actually does care about Tommy. Enough to want to steal him anyways. And of course she still wants Fisk and is trying to find him in other guys.
Which then makes me wonder why the hell she went for Tommy.
Yeah, her motives make no sense at all. I mean, if she wanted Tommy, like with Sheila, why didn't she just talk to Tommy about his girlfriend being a complete total whore? Instead of, just blowing him in the middle of the woods and making him feel guilty about it to the point that he confesses he cheated on her, when it should really be the other way around. I don't know if Naylor was just horny for Lucy being a cheating whore at this point, or if he wasn't sure what he was going to do with the plot. Maybe he was going to have Lucy consider being with Tommy, and then decide that was another bad judgment on her part, and have her learn from that experience.
You're thinking way too much into this. I mean, it's a Naylor comic. He probably just wanted to see Lucy blow a guy that was taken.
Well, Fisk basically tells Lucy to go after guys, because hey, it's not like he's gonna hold back on screwing every whore he can find.
And from the Halloween dance chapter, we've already seen he doesn't.
Rachel happens to be listening in on the whole conversation, which means our villain is also now going to be the best informed out of all of the girls. So she calls the other girls down in the middle of the night, I guess.
I'd like to know how this secret meeting is being conducted.
The siblings are out of the house. I'm not going to nitpick it. Instead, we get Rachel basically telling the other three that Fisk and Lucy are screwing each other. Oh yes, and we get her being a bitch to Amy as well. I'm starting to feel sorry for the poor cat.
Okay, Jessica lapping at the coffee mug is really annoying and makes no sense at all. Why have her drinking like a dog? Most of these characters don't even act like they are part animals.
Besides the fact that they are constantly in heat. We get Rachel going on more and more, and wow, really? Lucy is cleaning and baking.
I can't be the only one that finds some sense in irony in the fact that the slut character is also the most sensible one right now.
And what's even better is that in Naylor's eyes, once again, the only good traits for a woman are cooking and cleaning.
Yeah, you know, as opposed to, say, studying for her exams and passing grades and whatnot. No, the whole college thing is really just a backdrop for all the drama that's happening right now.
Well, Jessica and Amy don't believe a word of this, and I honestly can't blame them. Those two are a perfect representation of people not familiar with Naylor's writing. Hello, Photoshop. Beth, however, realizes it's all true. So, what does she do? She stands up for Lucy, of course. No, don't mind the fact that one of your few friends has an unhealthy relationship, and everyone, don't mind the fact that she reduced herself to the status of a whore. What's important is fighting against Rachel. And in true Naylor fashion, we even get Rachel's strawman dialogue at the end with, "You're just being obnoxious."
It's sad. If anyone else was making the same argument, people would stop and listen to them. My, what a perfect world Naylor has set up, where a whore is the only one with any common sense.
So yeah, that whole proving Lucy and Fisk are screwing thing, apparently this is the master plan here. Wear sleigh outfits in front of Fisk and Robert, who just happens to be there today as well. Yeah, that'll show everyone. Seriously, this is about the extent of what she does. I have no idea how this plan was supposed to work. Naylor obviously couldn't have cared any less about having the villain do, actual villain things, and okay, that's getting censored.
It's not like she's naked.
Don't care.
There are AMVs posted that show more.
Don't care. I'm covering my ass.
Apparently hers as well.
Ugh, I can't believe I set you up for that one. I never saw it coming. Moving on, we got Fisk jogging now, and yeah, muscles. Clearly, he's so much better built from the last chapter. Whatever. Beth finds Fisk and decides to have a talk with him.
Does any of this have a point?
What?
Since Fisk has shown up, absolutely nothing of significance has happened. Rachel tries to bait Fisk to get back at Lucy. It doesn't happen. Rachel tries to gather proof that Fisk and Lucy are having sex. It doesn't happen. Fisk tells Lucy to go after Tommy. She hasn't done that yet. This is all just more fluff to the comic, and it's not even entertaining fluff.
Well, it's not like these next pages tell us anything new. It's just a bunch of relaying information. Rachel's pissed at Lucy. Lucy wants to date Tommy, blah, blah, blah.
Personally, I think Beth, who is the second most well-informed out of the girls, just wanted to find out for herself if Lucy and Fisk are indeed screwing each other. She's already connected the dots. Now she just wants to find out for herself if they'll actually admit to anything.
So of course Fisk denies it.
Funny, because several things, including Lucy's own damn wet dream at the start of this chapter, claims elsewise.
And of course, to give us even more bullshit, we get Beth commenting on how Fisk sounds smart.
The blatant self-worshipping of this guy is getting too sickening to stomach.
And the page ends on a big pro-military note, which would be fine if it wasn't for the snarky comment at the start of the page. Well, time to shift scenes, and we get to what should have happened about, holy shit, 15 pages ago.
Let that sink in. Nothing of importance has happened for 15 pages. Lucy being a cheating whore was the last major event, and we're just now getting to the conclusion of that.
Anyways, Lucy and Tommy have a talk, and as it turns out, Tommy already suspected Rachel was sleeping around.
Which, this is probably the real reason that Tommy even accepted the blowjob in the first place. But that doesn't change the fact that they should have talked first. And aside from that, compare this to the Sheila Homewrecker chapter. It's also damn inconsistent. I mean, first off, we got Sheila cheating with Sam. It ends in disaster. Now we have Lucy blowing Tommy, and nothing bad happens. No ill consequences whatsoever. It's also damn inconsistent. Apparently, cheating is bad unless it's as a form of payback, or if you're doing it with someone who already has a cheating partner. It doesn't matter. I still say you're a dirty little slut, Lucy.
And because it's been missing, we get a nice long page of words talking about God and faith, and oh, just shut the hell up already. I could not care any less about this page, and I'm not sure anyone else could either.
The last speech bubble seems to have some importance about her being intimidating and Tommy actually being scared of Rachel. I have to say, he does sound fairly trapped in everything.
This is also only the 4th page I think we've actually seen of him. And yeah, this whole speech boils down to how it's going to be difficult to break up with Rachel.
Well, that was easy.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, Rachel tries to put up a little bit of a fight.
Meaning she tries to seduce him.
But Tommy refuses, and... okay, seriously? We're going to put Naylor's twisted spin on love now?
Okay, let's be clear about this. The last thing I want to hear is what either Naylor's new objectivist hero or the whore had to say about love of all things.
So yeah, they break up, and Rachel at best is left with the random guy she has screwed on the side.
And here's the truly sad part. Rachel is the perfect cardboard cutout of the type of woman Naylor could never have in high school. I mean, she was created just to be shown as a terrible person, to be humiliated, and then to be dumped and thrown away. I would not be surprised in the least if Rachel is actually based off a woman Naylor could not have, because he is both that unoriginal and that petty.
We get into Lucy and Tommy talking again. I could probably dig into this dialogue and pull examples of Tommy and Rachel's relationship being another excuse for Naylor to be misogynistic or something, but I'm just ready to end this chapter. The two talk more, and Lucy more or less tells Tommy, again, she's going to fuck him. Which got its own porn comic, by the way. And to wrap things up, before Fisk leaves, we get the goodbyes from everyone, including this panel.
What?
I told you you'd see my problem with Beth.
She's supposed to be asexual.
Yeah, I know.
Why is she making out with him?
Is that a rhetorical question, or is your mind actually blown?
Damn it, Naylor. You've completely reversed her character for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, and to answer Amy's question, we missed a porn comic. Yeah, that's right. 2 in 1 chapter.
2? There's 2 on this?
Yep. And the porn comic, by the way, really answers nothing. It's just them having sex. Doesn't explain why Beth jumped Fisk bones or anything. Yeah, that's right. Beth jumps on Fisk in the comic. So, once again, we see what an annoying little Mary Sue of a character Fisk is. He is so irresistible. He is such a wish-fulfillment character that he can even screw the asexualness out of Beth without even trying to seduce her nonetheless.
So that's chapter 14. Back to the bullshit, just like I promised. Lucy's character is destroyed. We are getting another whore in Strawman. Beth's character pulls a 180 by the end of the chapter, and for 15 pages, we are giving nothing of any real importance happening.
The sad part is this chapter actually could have been worse. It's stupid as all fuck. Yes, it's terrible, no doubt about it. But compared to some of the other bullshit we saw in earlier chapters, it's still going to take a little while to top that. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Al, take it away.
This chapter, I never thought I would read a story where character development could actually occur in reverse. This is actually destructive towards character development. It actually takes a character that we imagine having development and taking that in a negative direction. The writing is terrible. He decides that this character is asexual, builds up this character in that direction, and then Fisk undoes that.
And this is just about Beth. This isn't even getting into Lucy yet.
If a character has strong reasons that are well written for being a certain way, One character should not be able to come along and just change that. You do not do that. You've gone in this direction. You can't go in this direction that quickly. You can't turn the ship that quickly. And that's just one character. Lucy completely contradicts several chapters worth of development in the direction of being the victim by going out and doing something that seems incredibly out of character. Because she's not developed to be the slut. She's developed to be the victim. That's what he was aiming for. And then he decided, oh, I'm going to interject this for no fucking reason. And it went very badly and was very poorly executed, and that was probably one of the low points of the chapter. Then we have a villainous character that has no reason being villainous in that she can speak more logically than every single other character in the entire chapter. He just can't handle character development. I'm a writer. I'm not an artist, so I don't give much of a shit about his art style. It's terrible, but I've seen just as bad. What bothers me...
I'm going to interject there. Right around this time, the college years are about when Naylor's art, everyone will mostly agree, was at its peak. I hate Naylor with a passion. I will give props where it's due. The art style right around this time in the next few chapters is about when it was at its most solid, as opposed to Original Life, which I showed Alejandro earlier. Original Life doesn't even have hands and feet.
What bothers me, though, is the writing, in that it is terrible. And these aren't novice mistakes. These are mistakes that that a person who's brand new to writing would know not to make, because it's basic. You can watch movies and point out the flaws in this writing, having no writing experience whatsoever. So the fact that there are people who read this, it speaks volumes about the people that must be on Naylor's side all the time, the defenders and the apologists, because they clearly don't see the big problem, the elephant in the room.
Or they choose to just ignore it.
Exactly. I just, every time I read one of these chapters, I'm amazed at some new problem that's huge. He doesn't do small problems. His problems are gigantic.
Before we stray too far from the subject of Naylor's defenders, I've seen a typical Naylor thread on some forums. It usually breaks down into three types of arguments. There's the haters, the people that will rip Naylor apart no matter what, even when he does do something right every now and then. The people that defend Naylor no matter what, worship his ass, and will blatantly say, I don't care about his writing. I don't care about his messages. I'm just here for the porn. And then, of course, there's always the third side that's just laughing at the other two. Like they're the smug bastards so much better than everyone else. But they care just as much as everyone else does. So that's kind of an explanation of the people that defend Naylor.
And that's pretty much all I have to say, because these problems are, I seem to be repeating earlier problems that just keep being made.
She's a gold digger, now figured out it's all the pull the trigger, future skin is there and wet, savings gone, the money's spent, look around at all that's seen, no good, bad and ugly, matches on and fixed to be the future reckless time of rain.
I would not put it past him.
That's seriously what it's called?
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
And it's not a terrible comic, it's enjoyable. But then you get to the end and they both have to make comments about how they have boyfriends.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Naylor cannot write two legit lesbians.